Welcome to Lengua Franca. By now you have studied the verb ser, and now we have come to the other highly irregular verb in Spanish, ir. Ir is one of those verbs that is completely, totally, and in almost every way irregular. It means to go, and it is used on its own and in a construction to talk about the future. It is one of those verbs that you cannot do without. And as we are about to see, it shares some similarities with ser. As you will no doubt notice, there is nothing normal about the conjugation of the verb ir. It is, after all, an ir verb, right? It should work like the other ir verbs, right? Wait, where did those V's come from? And why does it seem to have ar endings? What's going on here? The very, very short story is that in Latin, there were many verbs that more or less meant to go. Ire was one, as was vadere. Over time, these two verbs merged in Spanish very early on as Latin evolved into what is the early Romance languages. So in some forms, as we see here in the present tense, we see more elements of the Latin vadere. But in others, like the infinitive, we clearly see more of a connection to ire. Linguists call this merger, and it is the reason why verbs like ir are so troublesome. Really, they are a stabilized version of the merger. So clearly, the conjugation of ir is just something that we have to remember. In fact, it should look somewhat like ser, in that they're both highly irregular. The difference is that with ir, you do see some elements of a normal conjugation. Namely, the endings are somewhat consistent with normal conjugations. But they definitely are different. The verb ir is also highly useful when wanting to talk about the future, especially if you want to imply that there is some sort of planning behind the actions. We use ir and a, followed by the infinitive for the action that we want to use. In each of these cases, we are talking about something that is going to happen, that we plan on happening. Granted, it does not mean that these actions definitely will happen. No one knows what will happen in the future. But in these cases, there is some thought going into these actions. Notice that we essentially use the same construction in English, to go plus the infinitive. This is a common structure in many languages. In the case of Spanish, we do not use the present progressive in this construction. As you can see, ir is a peculiar but highly useful verb, and one that you will use frequently. Once you recognize the patterns, though, it comes into focus pretty quickly. Please like the video and leave any comments or questions that you have. Don't forget to subscribe to Lengua Franca's YouTube channel, which has more videos on Spanish grammar and much more. Oh, and please check out our Patreon page if you are at all interested in supporting our work. Hasta pronto! Adiós!